What is up, guys? We're here today to talk about the top 5 Money in the Bank ladder matches of all time. In the history of the Money in the Bank ladder match, I had to pick 5. Just 5 that were better than every other one we have ever seen, ever. Now, you may have already read my written article. This is just my vocal thoughts, and you may just be here. If you're here, go read the written article at rc3entertainment.com. Support the brand at shoprc3.com, and you can get yourself some awesome pro wrestling t-shirts that you can wear out and about, even though you can't go out and about because we're in quarantine. Without further ado, guys, let's get into this top 5. So, number 5 is from WrestleMania 24. CM Punk defeats John Morrison, Carlito, Shelton Benjamin, Mr. Kennedy, MVP, and Chris Jericho. So, Money in the Bank nowadays, now that we think in 2020 terms, Money in the Bank has this formula of taking 5 of the most athletic, young, hungry talents that they have and just telling them to go out there and figure it out and tell a great story. This was one of the first instances of this, and it's one of the first instances that we get a mega launch of a star. CM Punk was basically an ECW to Raw mid-carder that wasn't doing a whole lot, and then he wins this Money in the Bank ladder match, and his career is skyrocketed to the moon. There was just so many good spots in this match. I mean, there was a really cool run-in from Matt Hardy. If you remember the Matt Hardy MVP rivalry, that storyline was awesome. There was a really cool run-in from Matt Hardy. There was a moonsault to the outside from CM Punk, I believe. And Punk gets his first victory. He ends up winning 2 of these things, but this was his first one, and this was his big launch as a main event star. So, number 5 was from WrestleMania 24. Number 4, Money in the Bank 2014. Seth Rollins wins the match. He defeats Rob Van Dam, Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, and Dean Ambrose. So this match was all about the storyline between Rollins and Ambrose, and you pretty much knew that one of those two was going to win this match. So basically you have this main story of these two, which has some of the best matches of the past 10 years between these two, and there's just so much drama. There's the Authority coming in. There's J&J Security. There's just everything going on. We see the ending come as Corporate Kane comes out and basically hands Seth Rollins the match on a silver platter, and the crowd in Boston was furious. Like, they were mad about this. So they did their job. As heels, Seth Rollins and Kane and the Authority did their job. Dean Ambrose did not get the win, and that to me, it just they told a great story. And then they also did a great job of involving everyone. So it wasn't just Rollins and Ambrose. Like, you had Rob Van Dam in there, Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, just in there going spot after spot after spot. Made sure everybody got their highlights in. They didn't just focus on the main 2, but we all knew that it was coming down to those 2. Which one of them was going to be able to grab that brass ring, and it ended up being Seth Rollins. Number 3, Money in the Bank 2011, one of the best pay-per-views of all time in the WWE. Daniel Bryan gets his big win against Kane, Sin Cara, Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Sheamus, Cody Rhodes, and Heath Slater. This match was like 30 minutes long, and it was a freaking rush. I mean, you took 8 guys out there, and they just went out there, and they were all these. I don't know if anybody in this match outside of Kane was outside of their 20s at this point. And they all went out there and they just put on a spot fest. I mean, you had this might have been one of the greatest opening matches in WWE pay-per-view history. This was fantastic match. And then you got, not only did you get that, you had at the time heel Daniel Bryan getting his big win and becoming the star that he is today. Now, this wasn't the launching point for him, but if this had not happened, first of all, this match created the yes chance. He started doing this immediately after this match. The crowd hated it at the time. They were not on board with the yes chance. But this match created the yes chance. It gave Daniel Bryan his first title, even if he would lose it to Sheamus in 12 seconds at WrestleMania. Hear me out. Had Daniel Bryan never won this Money in the Bank, never won the world title, and never lost it to Sheamus in 29 seconds or whatever it was, the crowd would have never revolted, and Daniel Bryan would have never became what he is today. Never. This is where it started, right here. Whether the path to get there is a different story, but this is where it started. Right here in this match, this is one of the best matches to open a show in history of any of WWE pay-per-views, period. Like, this is a fantastic ladder match, and these are just 8 hungry dudes going out there and putting on a show. Number 2, Dean Ambrose gets the win over Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Alberto Del Rio, and Chris Jericho. So, there's a running theme as to what makes a Money in the Bank match so great, and this is the best example of that. You take a bunch of young guys, like I've said a bunch of times, take a bunch of young, hungry talent, put them out there and say, go do your thing, figure it out, put on a great match. I just said that, and they did it again in this match, and this was the best example of that. You had Jericho and Del Rio out there as veterans, out there running the match, basically being the ring generals, calling the spots, telling the talent what to do, and then you had everyone else just killing each other. You had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens putting on just like Sami Zayn almost killed Kevin Owens when he powerbombed on the ladder. Dean Ambrose finally gets his prize. He would end up cashing in, which kind of makes this match even better in hindsight, because this was the night that all 3 members of the Shield held the world title in the same pay-per-view. This was a fantastic, story-driven spot fest. Like, this is how you do the like crazy Impact, AEW, New Japan matches, but mixed in with WWE storytelling is what this was. So like, it was like spot fest with no selling and all that, but then you had the storytelling of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You had Dean Ambrose getting his launch, getting his breakout from the Shield, because he was always kind of that third guy. And I mean, it was just incredible. I mean, this was one of the best story-driven matches in as far as ladder matches goes in wrestling that we've ever seen. So, fantastic match, guys. Good job. And number 1, it has not been topped yet. You all knew it was coming. It's the original. Edge defeats Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Kane, Christian, and Shelton Benjamin. I don't know what it is about this match that makes it so special. It's really hard to like pinpoint what makes this match so great. But if you look over the history of WrestleMania, and especially, there's not but a handful of matches that can top this one. I don't know if it's because we didn't know what to expect going in. I don't know if it was because we just hadn't seen a ladder match at WrestleMania in a couple years. I don't know what this was. But you had Benoit diving off the ladder. You had Shelton Benjamin running up the ladder, up the little ramp ladder. You had Edge blindsiding Benoit with the chair. And just some of those moments, like when you go back and you see a WrestleMania package, those are some of the moments that are just etched in our memory that we cannot forget, that just go on forever. And from an insider's perspective, we cannot kind of predict a lot of things that happens as insider wrestling fans. And this match, we really didn't know. We were kind of like, well, Jericho might win it because he created the match. It was his idea. And Edge was just a career mid-carder at this point. But after this match, and after he cashed it in the next January, he became one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. At this point in 2005, we did not think that was going to happen. We thought Edge was just a tag team dude and a mid-card dude, and that was it. Like, we did not know that that's what was going to happen. We have seen 15 years of Money in the Bank at this point. Just jaw-dropping action, but no group of guys has been able to top what these 6 guys went out there did on the very first time this match happened. Fantastic match. One of the best ladder matches in WWE history and the best Money in the Bank ladder match of all time. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the like button. It'll help me out a lot. And tell your friends. Share it on Facebook. If you found me on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, because I need to build both. I'm building both platforms here. Go to shoprc3.com. Get yourself a t-shirt. Read all my written articles at www.rc3entertainment.com. If you just want to support the channel and get some awesome perks, go to patreon.com/rc3ent. But for now, thank you so much for watching. This has been Rob, RC3 Entertainment, signing out.